Happy birthday, Sagittarius. This is Heather with Heather's Healing, and I'm here to give you a birthday message. Just looking at the upcoming year for Sagittarius. What do they need to know about the upcoming year? I'm just wishing you a happy birthday. All right, let's go ahead and here we go. Looking at the year ahead for Sagittarius, a birthday message for Sag. So kind of interesting here. We're starting off with the Four of Pentacles, and the feeling that I got from this card here is maybe over the past couple of years, perhaps you've been a bit more predictable. You've been really steady with, just really steady with your life. Whatever it is that you're working on, you've remained really committed and steady. And that's great. Maybe a little bit more controlling, but perhaps this energy is starting to feel, I don't know, maybe you're starting to feel a little bored, or you're just ready to mix things up. I feel like this energy, while it can be very helpful, it can bring in a lot of abundance. It can help you stay really grounded. I feel like you're ready for a change, and it's pushing you in a new direction. We've got the Six of Swords. So this being really predictable, comfortable, steady, while that's fantastic, you're ready for a change. You're now ready to move in a different direction. We've got the Six of Swords coming in. That feels like kind of the biggest focus. And what I feel from this in this upcoming year, and I think this is going to be really important for you, Sagittarius, when you are looking at moving in a different direction, traveling, starting something new, are you wanting to move because you're feeling uncomfortable? Are you wanting to move and do something different because you are trying to run from yourself and you're being really impulsive? Really pay attention to the emotions and reasons and feelings underneath the wanting to move, wanting to change, wanting to go in a different direction. Are you running from yourself or a situation, or are you genuinely excited to experience something new? We've got the moon coming in here as well. So, and I kind of feel this is going to be an energy for the upcoming year for a lot of people as well. There's not a real clear path forward. You might not really feel a lot of clarity in the upcoming year. And I think part of this is because you are learning about yourself. There's a leveling up that you've done over the years, and it's time to meet yourself again, figure out who you are at this phase of your life. What are you interested in? I feel like a lot for you has changed, and maybe part of the reason why you've just held steady over the past couple of years is because you really haven't known what direction to move in, or nothing is really sparking your passion or sparking your interest. So I feel like some of that is coming from the need to figure out who you are now. What are you interested in now? What is sparking that passion for you? And remember that, it's okay to pivot and change. We're not meant to stay the same. We don't stay the same. We're different every day. So embrace new things, embrace new interests. It's okay to pivot and change. Get really curious about yourself and who you are at this stage of life, and really pay attention to the emotions, the underlying emotions with everything, because I feel like that's going to give you a lot of clues. If you're interested in something, why Why are you interested in that? What's the feeling underneath that? Um, are you running towards something? Are you running away from something? You know, get really curious about who you are in this upcoming year. I feel like there's really beautiful things for you coming in this upcoming year, but you're going to have to be really honest about how authentic you are showing up. And there could be some tough there can be some tough changes that you need to make, particularly in relationships, and that can be a hard thing to look at too. But it does feel like a lot of I want to say a lot of learning. There's always a lot of learning, but it's reintroducing yourself to yourself, if that makes sense. Let's pull a oracle card as the birthday wish from your guides. You could also have a shift in careers here too in the upcoming year. Some big moves for you, Sagittarius. And I think that's why it's so important to be really honest with yourself about why you're doing the things that you're doing. I think that there is a risk of, rather than really looking at yourself and really looking at what is going on, what is the undercurrent, there's a risk here of just running from yourself and making drastic changes in the hopes that that will feed the hunger that you're feeling or that you're seeking. But that isn't it. You'll be disappointed. All right, Sag. Birthday wish from your guides and guardians for the upcoming year. What is the birthday wish here? And if you'd like a deeper dive on your upcoming year, Sagittarius, book a 1-hour reading and we can dive into your year ahead. We can look at it month by month. Birthday wish, harmony. Ooh, I love that. The card, it's number 3. Interesting. In the December reading, I talk about the energy numbers 12 and 3. Those are the energies that we're working with in this upcoming month. So card number 3, it says harmony, power, self-confidence, and productivity, finding your harmony. I love this. And it looks like branches of a tree or roots. Interesting. All right. Well, happy birthday, Sagittarius. I'm wishing you a fantastic year ahead, and I will talk to you real soon. Hey there, it's Heather with Heather's Healing, and we are here to look at the month of December for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Welcome in, Sag. All right. So we are in 9th house energy, the house of purpose. I love this. The house of purpose, philosophy, spirituality, long distance travel, your worldview. Let's go ahead. So the questions I want to ask is, what is the overall energy for the month of December as it relates to Sagittarius? What or where do you find support? A risk worth taking. What new direction aligns with your purpose? And then we'll get, I'll pull a card for final advice and guidance. All right, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. What is the overall energy of December for Sagittarius? What or where will you find support? A risk worth taking. What new direction aligns with your purpose? And then final advice and guidance. And I do feel like, I mean, we've been in a year of endings. It's been a 9-year. So the year of endings, I don't know of anyone that hasn't faced some kind of ending, whether it was the death of a loved one or a change of careers. There's, you know, a transition of some kind. And I feel like for many people, myself included, this year's been kind of a tough year. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's kind of like a grand finale of endings or transitions this year. But let's see what's going on here. We've got the Queen of Swords. I do like this energy here for you. So the overall energy this month for you is, I'm hearing clarity and direction. Getting really clear on what is your purpose, what is your focus, what is important to you, what are your values. I really feel like you are doing some soul searching this month. Well, you've probably been doing it all year, but you're really honing in on, this is what I want to change. This is what I want to learn. This is what I want. This is where I'm putting my energy. And you're being very methodical about it. You're very clear on that. Nice energy. I do really like that. Where do you find support? Look at this. We've got the World card. You find that support in making these changes. Completion, endings of cycles. You are ready. In the birthday message, there was a feeling coming through for Sagittarius, for Sun Sagittariuses, around a change of career, endings of relationships. There was a lot of focus on that. But this is where you find your support in making those changes, allowing the past to stay in the past. It's a new chapter for you. And you're ready to embrace that. I do really like this. And the end of the year, the end of the calendar year, anyway, I do feel like most of us kind of feel like there's an ending of a chapter. You know, we finished a year, we're starting off a new year, new energy, but you have had some real endings this year. It's a new chapter, and you are fully supported in that. A risk worth taking. Wow, we've got another major arcana card here, and we've got Judgment in reverse. A risk worth taking. You know, this was coming up in the birthday reading too. Don't be afraid to review yourself. I'm not necessarily talking about being critical, but really taking a look at what isn't working for you and what hasn't been working for you, and being really honest about that. And I think you could, maybe you've been avoiding doing this because you already know what you're going to find. You already know what endings were going to come from this. And maybe those endings have already happened. But it's better to take a hard look at what is going on in your inner world. How are you feeling? Why are you feeling that way? What is the undercurrent? What is going on below the surface for you? It's really important to look at that. Otherwise, I feel like you could be really impulsive and make some changes. I feel like you can make some pretty drastic changes that are impulsive and surface level that could potentially bring some chaos into your life, and it's not going to be solving the problem. The problem will still be there. So be very intentional and really take a hard look at what's going on with you. Be very honest. Be very honest with yourself. And I think that you will be, especially the month of December. We've got the Queen of Swords, and she is all about integrity, honesty, communication, being brutally honest. Be brutally honest with yourself. If something isn't working, take a look at that. Brutal honesty. It's a risk worth taking. What new direction aligns with your purpose? What do we have here? Holy shit, we've got the Tower, another major arcana card. Well, this does kind of depict the energy that I've been feeling. You can either make choices and changes that will really benefit you, or you can, you know, just burn your whole life down. And at times, I feel like at certain times in our lives, there is a purpose it's good to burn everything down. That might not serve you this go round. So we've got the Tower. What new direction aligns with your purpose? Anything that hasn't been built on a stable foundation is going to have to go. Or if it is salvageable, you're going to have to rebuild it again. You're going to have to put real time and effort into it. And I feel like that's why you're really being encouraged to be brutally honest. What is it worth putting the energy into? Are you trying to rebuild something that once was and isn't aligned with who you are now? These could be some big changes coming in towards the end of the year, first part of next year, especially if you're just trying to patch things together and hoping that things will hold together and everything will work out. That can be a strategy that works sometimes, but that's not going to work for you now, Sagittarius. So be really honest. What is going with you into 2026? What are you leaving behind? What do you need to step away from? Tower energy, lots of endings here. Being brutally honest. And with this Judgment card, I also feel like if you aren't willing to be brutally honest with yourself, the universe will be brutally honest with you, or for you. It'll be for your own good, but sometimes those lessons, when we allow the universe to shift things for us, it can be a rockier ride. Oh my gosh, another major arcana card, final advice and guidance for Sagittarius. Man, we have the Emperor in reverse. I feel like this is taking your power back, stepping back into your power. Anywhere in your life, and I feel like this is a clue that Spirit is giving you, anywhere in your life where you feel like you are stuck, you're feeling defensive, you're feeling like you've got to force or push your way to get results, these are all clues that that's an area that needs to be looked at. That's a problem area for you right now. Anywhere where you are you're handing your authority over to someone else, you're allowing someone else to make choices for you, and deep down you know that's not what you want, but for whatever reason, you're going along with it. These are all clues. You're asking to really take your power back, stand in your authority, and move forward. And that might mean there are people that aren't going to join you on this next chapter of your life. And that can be a really tough thing to hear. I think I'm going to pull an oracle card for you guys. Man, that's I mean, it's beautiful things are going to come out of this, but these are big energies here, Sagittarius, huge energies. And while I'm shuffling these cards, if you are interested in taking a deep dive in the year ahead, in your year ahead, book a 1-hour reading and we can go month by month and just see what's going to be coming up, give you kind of an idea of the energies that are that you'll be encountering next year. Or, you know, any other questions that you might have, go ahead and book a reading and we can dive into those even deeper. it kind of feels like also a clearing of your energy. So salt baths, clearing your mind, you know, a tech detox might be helpful as well. But really listen to yourself, your inner guidance, not what... Yeah, it kind of feels like you guys need to just shut the outside world off for a while. Give yourself a break. All right, final message for Sag. Interesting. Yeah, look at this. We've got card number 8. It says attachment, letting go, restriction, and fear. And that's really what your whole reading is talking about. You know, what are you attached to? What are your attachments? What is, you know, stopping you from moving ahead and really embracing your authenticity? You know, face those fears, face those restrictions, look at it head on. All right, Sagittarius, I'm wishing you the best in December. I hope it's a fantastic month for you. You can do it. You can do hard things. Hang in there. And I'll talk to you real soon.